this is the 25th anniversary of Xbox. So Microsoft decided to bring out all their big guns. Their big three, Halo, Gears of War, and Forza, all get new installments this year, or got new installments this year. But only one of those three is actually celebrating a 25th anniversary, along with Xbox, and that is Halo. And it's doing that with the third re-release of Halo Combat Evolved with Halo Campaign Evolved, which is a remake of strictly the campaign, and it's also on PS5. That will never not just feel wrong. And look guys, I really wanted to love this, and it's definitely not bad by any means, but somehow Halo Campaign Evolved manages to be easily the weakest remake or remaster that the Revolutionary Classic has received. Hi guys, MiiKcast here reviewing today Halo Campaign Evolved. Now before we get started, you know what to do. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit the bell, leave a comment, or I'll blow up your planet. Starting off with the good, the first thing that you'll notice with this game, especially as a remake, is its visuals. As I won't deny that although this may be the weakest version of Halo CE, it's also easily the best looking. Many remakes are, this is remade to look the way you remember the original looking, and Campaign Evolved is certainly one of those games. The original Halo Combat Evolved was very influential for what it did for couch co-op and the FPS genre, and the visuals were quite impressive for the time, but at the same time, it is quite dated. Campaign Evolved is as good as you remember the original looking. I've also found out that this is surprisingly something that not everyone is high on, but I think it looks great. They also made a lot of changes to the gameplay, many of which I am not a fan of, but the overall gameplay is still fun. The gunplay I think is the most important part and it holds up. Just shooting down a bunch of enemies, or like, you know, when you want to operate the turret or hijacking vehicles and controlling them, they are all just a lot of fun. And the amount of guns in the game, there's a lot, and they are also so much fun. It gives you so many options, and I enjoyed using all of them. And the energy sword as well. That will always be one of the coolest weapons in any game. And I sort of just briefly mentioned the vehicles, and you can do that, and it's fun. Except the Warthog, what the fuck happened there? But everything else was fun to control. And you know what? Fuck it. I like the addition of sprinting. What are you gonna do, huh? Sue me. Cancel me. I understand not everyone loves this change to the gameplay, but I don't care. It's a good quality of life change that I actually think makes the game better by making traversal more fun. There's also new voice acting, some of which is not particularly the best, but I didn't mind most of it. And they got Steve Downes, who always brilliantly voiced Master Chief, to re-record some voice lines, and it's great. The guy is up there in age, so who knows how much longer he's going to be voicing Chief for, but he's still got it. And despite that, they still keep Master Chief as a mostly silent protagonist, during the main campaign that is, but it's still effective. And lastly, the music. Halo has always had an iconic soundtrack. I'd even say you never need to have ever played a Halo game in order to be able to recognize the main theme. And I'm happy to report that Campaign Evolved takes the soundtrack and remasters it, and it sounds awesome. Not much else to really say there, just a really solid remastered soundtrack. Now I am about to get into things that I'm more mixed on or just flat out didn't like, and there's a lot, but I want you all to know that this is still a fun game, and the things that it does right, it does do very right. Moving on to the things I'm mixed on. First, the library is back. Easily the weakest mission from Combat Evolved. And I'm not even saying it's bad that it's back. I think you do a remake of Combat Evolved, you bring back all the missions, which includes the library. And it's different and even a little better, but it's still the library. I'm putting it in the mix because they did actually try to change the mission and not make it as boring, but it's still the worst one in the game. Another thing worth mentioning is sort of the thing that everyone points out about this game, and that it's a remake of just the campaign. Now this isn't an issue with the game in the same way some of my other issues are. This was advertised as just the campaign, and that's what this is, with a remake of the multiplayer coming down the line. Or at least that was supposed to be the case, but Halo Studios just canceled the multiplayer remake, Or at least I think. That's what I assumed originally when I saw the report that said the Halo multiplayer game was canceled, but I can't find anywhere that definitively says that it was the remake or just a brand new game. But whatever the case is, Campaign Evolved is a remake of half the original Halo game. Some will even tell you the less iconic half. Halo is a series. Yeah, it has a great story and great campaigns, and Master Chief himself has a great story, but it's a series best known for its multiplayer. And sure, this does have couch co-op, but that's it for the multiplayer. Again, I was expecting this, because that's how it was advertised. But at the same time, that just makes Campaign Evolved a little confusing. But in the place of the multiplayer is 3 new prequel missions. These take place 1 year before the events of the main campaign. I actually like the story we got here, and if nothing else, it's cool seeing Chief and Johnson interact more. Why is it in the mix though? Well, I don't think these missions are paced very well. Master Chief talks a little too much during the cutscenes, and really, I just don't think this makes up for the absence of the multiplayer. Moving on to the bad, there are some small issues, there are some big issues, but all sort of just hurt the game for me. I briefly mentioned the Warthog controls, and yeah, what the fuck? Every other vehicle or ship that you can controls just fine. The Warthog controls terribly. And it's the same controls as the original. You do the same thing. It just feels way more stiff. The game also crashed on me once. Just once. But once again, that's enough for me to mention it, even if it's just once. I've also run into other technical issues, not necessarily any bugs or glitches or even like weird visuals like popping or anything like that, but frame rate issues. When there's a lot of enemies on screen, which by the way, I'll get into the enemies in a bit, but when that happens, I've noticed the frame rate dips a lot. It didn't happen too much, like it wasn't the whole game where this happened, but when it did, it was noticeable. This has also weirdly happened a lot during cutscenes. Not so sure what was up with that. I played this game on Xbox, so maybe these issues don't exist in the PC version, although I've heard that version has a lot of its own issues. So the PS5 version might actually be the best version of this game, which still just sounds wrong. They also made changes to the UI. Specifically, the weapon UI. Because there are a lot of enemies, you shoot them, and they drop weapons. But the UI for the weapons kinda just takes over the screen, and it can often be needlessly more difficult to interact with than they should be. And lastly, what I've been alluding to, the enemies. Well, actually not really the enemies, but the AI. What makes Halo fun is shooting down all the enemies on screen, even if you don't have to. You know you can easily just progress through the mission without fighting anyone, but what's the fun in that? It's the dopamine in it, where you just want to shoot down everyone in sight. But the AI in this game could either be very stupid and let you walk right up to them, or very broken and won't die despite shooting them 7 times. It's quite unpredictable which one you get, you never know. But they also decided to just throw in more enemies in each level. And I mean a lot. To the point where it isn't fun and I just found myself avoiding fighting them, which like I said earlier, isn't fun.
Now would be a very good time to leave.
Punch it.
Sir.
You probably got the idea that I'm quite disappointed in Halo Campaign Evolved, which, in a way, I am, but really, this is kind of what I was expecting. It is disappointing that Halo Studios can't really move the franchise forward in any meaningful way, but I really wasn't expecting much out of Campaign Evolved specifically. And although I was hoping it would exceed my somewhat low expectations, it sort of just met them. It's a perfectly fine way to replay a classic that in many ways changed the gaming landscape when you think about it. But if you have access to the Master Chief Collection, you honestly get a far superior version of Combat Evolved. Not to mention, it has the multiplayer, and you can play remakes of other Halo games too. Halo Campaign Evolved isn't bad by any means, don't get that idea. But Halo as a franchise is too iconic to have a game be just fine for its 25th anniversary, and also kind of supposed to be its comeback because Halo's like in a weird spot. I give Halo Campaign Evolved a 7 out of 10. Not a terrible game, but I feel like it should be so much better than this. But really, I kind of just feel like Halo Studios needs to move on from Combat Evolved. And while you're at it, you gotta move on from Halo 2 as well, because apparently they're doing that one next. Like, both in the sense that you need to move the franchise forward and make new games, and if you want to remake some of the older games, Remake 3, Remake 4, Remake Reach. There's plenty more Halo games that can use a remake than the first two that have been remade many times already. But that was my opinion on Halo Campaign Evolved. It seems to be sort of like a divisive game, so what do you guys think? Do you guys like the game, not like the game? Have you guys played the game, not played the game? If you haven't played the game, do you guys want to play it, not want to play it? Anything about the game, let me know down below. Anyways, if you liked the video, come subscribe or I'll blow up your planet.